Judges, this is case number 429 on the calendar in the matter of DeVargas versus Latham. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I assume from your complaint that you had a 3.5-year sort of live-in relationship where you were together. Is that right?
About a year and a half, actually. We had a long-distance relationship for 10 months before that, and then lived together for almost about 2 years.
Okay. And now you are no longer together. You say he owes you money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take these things one item at a time, because that's a more organized way of doing business. Damage to my car, $477.18.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that come about?
I can show you this.
No, tell me.
Okay. I guess I was out of town, and we had a driveway in which my car was parked at the top. I guess either he was on a job or I'm not sure exactly what.
I backed into her car.
And
you backed into a car?
Yeah, basically backed into the car and damaged the back end.
Okay. Did you have it fixed right away?
No.
Why?
Because I was trying to get the money from Aaron.
Well, how long did you live together afterwards, after this damage to the car?
Probably another 6 months, maybe.
Now, you can't tell me that during that 6-month period you were trying to get the money from him to fix it.
Yes.
No.
What do you mean, yes?
Yes, I had asked him to please pay for the damages. I was still able to drive my car, considering the damage was in the back. Mm-hmm. It's damage that, yes, is kind of expensive, but it's not something that...
It's cosmetic.
It's cosmetic, basically.
So how much after you broke up did you decide to fix the car?
I didn't fix the car. It's still dented.
Gym membership, $713.12. And this is for a gym membership that you shared and I paid off. Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
We had decided to get a gym membership at Bally's together. I had put it through my bank. So what happens is every month they would take the funds out of my bank account. Of course, when we broke up, the funds were still coming out of my bank account, and I ended up paying off $1,400, half of which is $713.12.
How long did you use the gym membership after you split up?
I went a few times myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never used the membership, and just when we did it, it was a better deal for us both to do it. And
well, what was the difference? Do you know?
Oh.
Between a single membership and a double membership?
No.
Mm-mm. I don't know. It was something I used it once when we first got it.
Well, the question is, sir, did you obligate her to pay this gym membership because you intended to use it?
I didn't. It was something she wanted to do. You know, she wanted the membership. And
so you just went along for the ride?
Well, I thought there was, you know, as far as the cost of it, I thought it was something we would both cover over.
So did you pay for any of it?
Oh yeah.
How much did you pay?
I never kept exact track, but probably, you know, over the period of a year, probably $200–300.
And how did you make those payments to her?
Just gave her money here and there.
For the gym?
Well, I gave her money for mini bills that.
For the gym?
No, not specifically for the gym. Not that I can say. All the payments I had given her were larger sums that were...
For what?
For, you know, utility bills and gym payments and things like that. So, all in one payment, every month.
Well, let me see. No. Checks for these large sums of money. You return checks for large sums of money.
There you
go. I'm basically just pinpointing these items as what I'm suing for. Those canceled checks have nothing to do with these items.
What do they have to do with?
They have to do with other items that...
I disagree with that. Those canceled checks go to a list here that Vanessa had faxed me that I can show the judge also. And those canceled checks correspond with those payments on that and with this, actually. I'd gone down that list and marked off what I felt were fair and reasonable things that she should be paid back for. And on the second sheet...
Well, how much, sir, do you think is fair and reasonable for her to be paid back?
Well, on the about
No, is it not a number?
sorry,
Give me a number.
about $2,800.
And how much have you paid her?
$2,800.
You've paid her $2,800. Does that cover the gym?
Specifically, no, it doesn't cover the gym specifically.
All right. Does that cover the damage to her car?
No, because I've never gotten a total on that.
Can I see the estimate for the damage on your car, please?
Okay.
Just give me the estimate, not a tone. You have a deductible on your insurance?
Yes.
What's your deductible?
I think it's $500.
What do you mean you think?
I'm not sure.
Well, how can I do this if I don't know what your deductible is?
I'm pretty sure it's $500, but I'm not sure.
I still don't understand why it took you so long to even think about fixing the car. Let me see the dent to the back of the car.
It's on the back of that picture. It was something that could have waited. It wasn't something
Oh,
that...
it sure can. It's just like a little kiss.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had called him, I had paged him. He wouldn't return my pages.
That always happens when somebody owes you
Yeah,
money.
yes,
Especially
Yes.
when the luster of love has worn off,
yes,
right?
yes.
And later today,
Kids do that when they're in elementary school. They go around and tear each other's posters off.
understand that.
You understand that? You're supposed
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
more adult as you get older.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. After Vanessa DeVargas and Aaron Latham broke up, she says he refused to pay his share of bills and damaged her car.
All right, let's go to the next thing then. Next thing is a credit card that I started for him in my name, $455.09. What's this credit card, sir? Do you know?
Yeah, and I have also paid her back for that.
You have.
Yeah, in that $2,800.
Well, did you use that credit card at all?
No,
Do you have the last statement from the credit card?
yes.
Can I see it, please?
I made several payments. I didn't make one lump sum. But that was the last payment in which I paid off the credit card.
This says that there was a previous balance of $37. How am I supposed to tell whose expenses these are?
In the checks there and in the breakdown of what she says I owed her versus what I've paid her, it kind of shows it. I know it's kind of complicated, but
It is very complicated. I wish you young people who decide to set up housekeeping didn't exchange credit cards. Really very stupid.
I agree.
Never do it again.
Yeah. That's what everybody says. You don't have checks here, sir.
I'm sorry?
You showed me these bills, sir, these checks that you say should total $2,800. They
Okay.
don't even total $1,000.
I don't believe I have all $2,800 worth of checks here because I didn't start to get my checks sent back to me until after this started. I just have to go by what she deducted off the balance. And
How much-
it shows payments. She dated them on her.
How much did you receive from him in total?
I don't know.
Listen, I can't figure this whole thing out. Nobody can figure this whole thing out. Probably even not an accountant can figure this whole thing out. One thing I do know for sure is that you owe her half of the gym membership. Now, the entire membership was $1,400 and change, so you owe her $700 for the gym membership. That I know for sure. Madam, I'm allowing you $300 for the repair of your car.
Okay, thank you.
Fix this little
Can I also
ting
add...
in the back of the car. And I'm giving you $700 for the gym payment because I think that you obligated yourself to pay for this gym. The fact that he didn't use it, that's his problem. He was there, he thought it was a good deal, he's got to pay for part of it, and he can't establish to my satisfaction that he's ever paid any part of that. You wanted to say something else?
I wanted to add that I had tried to, after I had broken up with Aaron and had moved out, I had tried numerous times to make arrangements to meet with him. I had called him, I had paged him. He wouldn't return my pages. One time, I had to pretend that I was somebody else so that he would call me back, and he did. So this is why this has gone on for so long, because I have never been able to reach him or find him or get him to call me back. And because of this...
That always happens when somebody owes you
yeah,
money.
yes.
Especially
Yes.
when the luster of love has worn off.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I sort of
So-
like that bird.
I like
Luster
that.
of love.
I'll write that down.
So,
So that is why this has been drawn out for so long, and I
Mr.
took it
Vargas.
to court.
put a period. Move on with it.
Okay.
I'm giving her a judgment for $1,000. Fix the dinghy on your car. Help you pay for the gym membership that you probably paid off. Do me a favor. You get another boyfriend? Keep your credit cards under lock and key.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
All right. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Okay.
And now the next case.
Parties on Buffa versus Paz Martinez. Step forward, please.
40-year-old student Charles Buffer says fellow student Karen Paz, 25, tore down his campaign posters at Los Angeles City College and ruined his chances of becoming student vice president.
Which one of you is Miss Martinez?
I am.
Mr. Buffer, you were running for the office of vice president, according to your papers, of a school organization, and Miss Martinez was your adversary.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was this college?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which school?
LACC, LA City College. Yes, Your Honor.
And according to your complaint, Miss Martinez and/or Miss Paz took down 6 of your posters,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you are suing them for $72, which is the cost of the posters, and you also lost the election.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How do you know that they took down the posters?
Okay, Your Honor, first of all, number one is that I found the poster. Let me bring this up to you. I found the poster in the location of where this lady was. Number two is they admitted it to me the next day.
All right, tell me about the admission.
And I, with the election chair commission lady who's here with me today, will testify that they admitted that she tore down the posters. She
Who
cussed
tore
it-
down the posters?
Miss Karen Paz over here.
Did you tear down the posters?
No, not all.
Not all.
No.
Did you take down some?
2.
You took down some.
2, yeah.
Why?
That was my mistake.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Also, too, I'd like to bring up, too, that she also signed an affidavit saying she did do this, okay?
Well, let me see the affidavit.
Okay, I'd have to come up to you or have him bring it to you. You see, Your Honor, it isn't about money here. It's about principle. He destroyed something to me in hopes of not getting me elected to try to hamper me from getting elected is what this girl did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I plan on pursuing something honest where you don't have to use deceit and trickery to win an election. By tearing up stuff, that is not right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 40-year-old student Charles Buffer says fellow student Karen Paz, 25, tore down his campaign posters at Los Angeles City College and ruined his chances of becoming student vice president.
Well, why are you suing Miss Martinez?
Because Miss Martinez was the one that I was running against, Your Honor.
But why are you suing her?
And because when we went in that day and confronted her with the election committee lady,
Confronted whom?
well, we confronted Miss Paz in the office, okay? She admitted that, well, she said, well, she told me to do it, and then you yelled at me and said, well, they weren't stamped. So that gave you the authority and the orders to give her to tear up my posters because you wanted so bad to get elected, Your Honor. That's what happened. And that day, she admitted it to me and to the other lady sitting here on her orders that that's why that was done.
Who admitted it? Miss Martinez?
Miss Paz.
I'm not talking about Miss Paz. Miss Paz has already
okay.
admitted she took down a couple
Right.
of posters.
And then when I said,
I'm talking about Miss Martinez.
Yeah, yes,
She's
ma'am.
guilty.
yes, Your Honor. Then when I said to Miss Martinez, I said, well, why did you tell her to do that? Well, Mr. Buffett, your posters aren't stamped. I don't blankly give
All
a
right,
damn.
Miss Martinez, did you say to Mr. Buffer your posters aren't stamped?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Put that down,
Okay.
sir. I don't need visual aids. Pass visual aids. Stop getting so excited, sir. This is
I know.
not an election for state senator or president of the United
I agree.
States. I know that you're emotional.
Well, you know,
I
it's the
just-
principle.
I know it's principle. I know. Kids do that when they're in elementary school. They go around and tear each other's posters off.
understand that.
You understand that? You're supposed
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
more adult as you get older.
That's correct.
Miss Martinez,
Yes, ma'am.
did you ever tell Miss
No. No, Your
Paz
Honor.
to take down his posters because they weren't stamped?
No, Your Honor. There's no reason why I should do it.
Okay. Do you have information with regard to that?
Yes, I do,
Step
Your
up here
Honor.
and tell me who you are.
My name is Felice Dooley, and I was chairperson of the election.
Did you ever speak to Miss Martinez with regard to these posters?
Yes, I did. I spoke with Ms. Martinez, and Ms. Paz confronted them. I asked Ms. Paz if she took down the posters, and she admitted she took down the posters. And after words of exchange, explicitives that she shouted at me or what have you, she was extremely belligerent.
You're not following me. I asked you a direct question. My direct question to you was, what information do you have that Miss Martinez had a
Miss Marti-
conspiracy with Miss Paz to take down these posters? She's guilty. I tell you what, to make it easier, you sit down.
Ms. Martinez told me that she was aware that Karen Paz took down the posters.
Being aware doesn't make her guilty in the eyes of the law.
No, she did not tell me that she directed Ms. Paz
To take them down.
take them down.
Do you have
Oh, go ahead.
any, Mr. Buffer?
Yes.
How old are you, by the way, sir?
Too old.
No, I'm too old. How old are you?
40.
Okay.
I'd say I tell you I was 21, but I know you won't believe it.
I certainly would. I tell people I'm 21 all the time. They don't believe me.
Your Honor, it's the thing of it is that what motive would this girl have to do it? She knew she was running against me. That's why she did it.
Mr. Buffer,
What motive do I have?
you're 40 years old, so you
Right,
should have a
correct.
certain amount of life's experience, including
do.
life's experience. You also have experience watching a lot of television, being inside of courts, right?
Yeah, that's
Your
correct.
feelings are not particularly relevant. The fact that somebody had an opportunity or inclination doesn't necessarily make them guilty. You have to have proof that they're guilty before a
understand
court
that, yeah.
finds them guilty.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have any proof against Miss Martinez that she either instructed or directed anyone else to remove your posters?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Well,
Your
let
Honor.
me hear it.
Okay. Well, the day we went in that day into that office, when I asked her, why did you tell her to take down the posters, her reply to me was, well, your posters weren't stamped, so I told her to take them down. She had every right to do so. That's what she said
I did
to
not
me.
tell him.
I don't believe that.
No,
Mr.
I
Buffer?
didn't.
That's what you did.
Mr. Buffer,
That's correct.
listen to me.
I'm listening.
I don't believe she said that to you.
Well, she
I
did.
have no need to
No.
do it. Why would I do
No, I don't
something
believe
like
she
that?
said those words to you, sir.
That's exactly what. I say she did say that words to me.
Did she say to you, were they stamped?
No, she said your posters weren't stamped. I gave her the authority to take them down because they weren't stamped.
No, I did
and
not
that's
say
why I
that.
said they are stamped. Here they are.
I did not
No,
say that.
I don't believe that. But you are entitled to a judgment, sir. You are entitled to a judgment against the person who has been proven guilty in this court, and that is Miss Paz.
That is correct.
Well,
You're
so it cost you, according to you, $72 for these posters. That's the amount of money that you're suing for. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to give you a judgment for that, sir, in the amount of $72 against Miss Paz.
Well, I really appreciate that, Your Honor.
That's what you have. Thank
but
you.
You
I'm
know
glad
what?
you
It's
appreciate it.
principle. That's what it is. Not the money. It's
And
principle.
what is my principle?
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge
Thank
Judy
you, Your Honor.
continues in a moment.
Thank you.
And on the next Judge Judy.
And I plan on pursuing something honest where you don't have to use deceit and trickery to win an election. By tearing up stuff, that is not right.
She
And you're
is
not.
a friend.
Oh, a friend. I love that. A friend. I love that, you guys.
That's it.
That's so cool. She's a friend, so help her tear the posters down to get her election. You got to be honest. You're not going to win an election being dishonest. You're going to get caught sooner or later. And it came down on her. And that's it. She lost. And I feel good about it. I'm happy today in court. I couldn't be...
Judge, this is case number 378 on the calendar in the matter of Stelly versus Willow. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Stelly, you and the defendant had a long relationship, I gather from your papers, and you have a 9-year-old child together, correct?
Yes.
Boy or a girl?
Boy.
According to your complaint, the defendant owes you a nice round number, about $5,000.
Yes, she does.
You want to explain why?
Yes, I've loaned Miss Wills several $1,000s for different things. Repairing her automobile, loaned for a down payment on a house, a loan for a car, which I took title in collateral. Miss Wills has promised to pay me back for these loans, and she has failed to do so.
Let's take the loans specifically, sir.
Okay.
Loan number one.
Loan number one was for a transmission for a Chevy Blazer that Miss Kathy Willows owns.
And how much was that loan?
That loan was in the amount of $1332.18. Here's the check.
Okay, so let's do this one at a time. First of all, how long have you been apart? Long time?
About 5 years.
Okay, and how long did you actually live together?
About 3.
Did he give you money, $1,332.18 to fix the transmission?
He paid the repair guys to fix the transmission.
And was there an agreement that you would pay him back?
He just said that if I could.
And you were living together at the time?
You might call it that, yes.
Okay, what's this next alleged loan for, sir?
Okay, that was for $6,000 for a Pontiac Grand Am.
All right, now this was in 1994, so you were separated at the time. You were no longer living together. She acknowledges that you made a loan to her to buy this car, correct?
Correct.
Am I right?
Well, to purchase the car, yes.
What did I say?
Yeah, I said yes.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Now, how much of the $6,000 did you pay him back?
Well, the first year and a half that I had the car, I was taking care of my ailing father. I was out of work, and I didn't give David any money toward the vehicle. Then a year and a half later, I finally got enough money together to move out. When I was moving, David said, "You can't take the car. That's my car." I said, "David, I need that car. I'd just gotten a job, and I needed the car." And I said, "I can pay you $50 a month." And here's a history of the payments that I made to him. For a year and a half, I made $50 a month payments.
What's the total?
I think it totaled $550.
So on a $6,000 loan, let us assume that you paid him $550. Then, Mr. Stelly, you repossessed the car.
Yes, I did. I repossessed the car because she was failing to keep a steady payment, and I felt that she should be paying me more money to pay off this loan fast, because Miss Willow has now entered into a new relationship, and I don't want to be financially responsible for her anymore.
Okay. It is clear to me that you had an
I'm financially
arrangement.
responsible for my son, but I'm not going to be financially responsible for her.
Mr. Stelly, listen to me carefully, sir. $550, assuming that's what she paid you in $50 increments, and you acknowledge that she made some payments to you, right?
Yes.
But then you repossessed the car.
For lack
What
of
did
payment.
you do with the car?
What did I do with the car?
That was my question.
I have done nothing with it. I have offered the car back to Miss Willow,
No.
and she wanted to make a more reasonable payment.
No, you have the car.
I know I have the car, but I have offered the car back to Miss Willow
No.
so that she can make a more reasonable payment to me, so that she could continue to have a vehicle.
Just
I
she
did
doesn't-
not take this vehicle to be mean or anything. I took the vehicle so Miss Willow could sit there and see that I am not pussyfooting around anymore, that I would like to have a payment so she could be out of debt
Mr.
to me.
Stelly, she doesn't want the car anymore. According to her answer, she went out and she bought another car.
Yes,
Is that
she did.
right?
That's true.
So now you have the car, sir.
Yes, I do.
So what you have to do, Mr.
Okay,
Stelly,
right here is
is sell the car. It's in your name.
this. Right here is our quote for Kelly Blue Book on the value of the car is. I'm asking the court for the difference between the two.
Well, let me see the blue
Okay,
books.
there's one in here for
Here.
good.
I have
She
Kelly
has-
Blue Book, too.
Let me take a look.
This
And
is
the
a-
car's in good to excellent condition,
Let me take
Your
a look.
Honor.
The car is in good to fair condition, Your Honor.
She's got good to excellent. Here.
I got those quotes from off the internet.
Well, you have to believe the internet, right? Okay. What year is this car?
It's an 89.
And you have the sedan,
Four-door.
four-door sedan, right? Okay. Wholesale is $28.50. Suggested retail is $5,000. Okay. Return that to her. And you have, sir, on your page is the trade-in value in good shape.
Yes, that's
Is
what
20
I consider. That's what I consider the car to be in. I have a videotape of the vehicle showing the conditions of the tires, which are all basically all four of them are bald.
Sir,
it's missing a
you
muffler.
have trade... Ay, 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 ay.
It's missing a muffler.
Trade-in value, sir. Trade-in value is...
That's what I got off the internet. Okay. Thank you. I'll be.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
I have maintenance records and repair receipts on the car to
Whatever.
show
The
that
car
I
is
took care
at
of
least
the car.
the car is at least worth $3,000.
Yes, I agree to that.
At least $3,000. And she has paid you $550. So that's $3,550, leaving $2,450 after you sell it. Right?
That if I get that.
Well, how am I supposed to know, sir? I mean, you come to court. It's your responsibility
That's right. It
to
is
come.
my
It's your
responsibility. That's why I got this here tape right here. That shows you the condition the car
I'm not
is
interested in
in.
seeing your tape, sir. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you had sold the car and you came to court and you said, this is what I got for the car in an arm's length transaction, I put an ad in the paper, this is what I sold it for, then I would know. Right now, I am speculating because of the posture of this case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This is what they're trying to sell their cars for.
I don't care. You brought me the papers. I don't care what other people are doing. How do I know you didn't put those ads in the paper?
And later today,
I tried to tell him not to eat it, and he ate it anyways. He was drunk.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Stelly wants the mother of his child, Kathy Willows, to pay for a car he repossessed.
Okay. What else?
I have other loans.
Like what?
Like the down payment on a house.
This is ridiculous.
This check right here is for $15,000.
Sir,
no.
Sir, listen to me, sir. You're in the wrong court.
No,
if she owes you $15,000, then you're in the wrong court.
She paid me back $9,000 of it.
Sir,
way.
you're in the wrong court. That's still $6,000. Go ahead. Give me the next one.
You know, Your Honor, I have given this woman thousands of dollars. I have let her live in my house. Lived in my house.
With our son.
With my son.
No.
And her son.
Okay. What else?
These are two clips out of the auto section that people are trying to sell their Pontiac Grand M's, and this is what they're trying to sell their cars for.
I don't care. You brought me the papers. You brought me the papers. You brought me the papers. I don't care what other people are doing. How do I know you didn't put those ads in the paper? You brought me the papers. I'm using your figures.
Okay.
Fair condition.
Why don't we get your paper?
I'm using your paper, sir. The papers that you gave me.
Yeah, okay, from off the internet.
I couldn't live with you 2 minutes. Anything else you want to tell me?
I just want the money that this woman has promised to repay me.
Let me explain something to you, sir. From me, against her, you are going to be awarded $2,450. She has already given you $550. Now, you are going to sell the car, and based upon your figures, you're going to get $3,000 for the car. I mean, am I missing something?
No, you're not missing anything. Okay, you're saying I can and probably will sell the car for $3,000.
You want me to dismiss your lawsuit, Mr. Stelly,
No.
and wait until after you sell the car and then you come back and tell me what you sold the car for? I can
No.
do that. I can dismiss your case without prejudice. You can leave.
No,
Go
I
out and
will-
sell the
I'm
car
willing-
and then come back. Is that what you'd like me to do?
No.
Be more than happy to do that.
No, I would like to get this thing settled so we close this chapter of our lives.
Good. So then I'm awarding you, sir, $2,450.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Milner versus Dutter. Step forward, please.
19-year-old Flora Milner is suing her former landlord, Francis Dutter, 44, for return of personal belongings. Ms. Dutter says Flora will get them back when she reimburses her for utility bills and a dead fish.
Ms. Milner, according to your complaint, you rented a room from the defendant in her home. And you moved into her home with your baby. It was 18 months old. Is that right?
Yes.
And that lasted only several months. You moved out. She kept some of your things. You want your things back.
That's right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
She says that you owe her money and that when you pay her the money, you can get your things back. Is that this case?
Correct.
Ms. Milner, what month did you move into the house?
December.
And what was the rent arrangement?
We had a verbal agreement of $250 plus I'd pay my phone bill.
Is that right?
Correct.
And you had no written lease?
No.
No.
And you lived in the house until, according to this, the month of June.
That's right.
Something happened in the month just prior to that. You wanted to move out. Did you pay your rent for the month of June?
I did.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And you moved out before July 1st.
That's correct.
Now, she's not suing for anything other than her property back.
That's right.
And you say you have her property.
Correct.
So you tell me, what money do you say she owes you?
She owes me for 2 months that she had her stuff in the room, storage fees.
Just a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. Say she owes you $500 for July and August rent.
Correct.
Well, she wasn't living there in July and August.
Correct.
So why does she owe you for July and August rent?
She gave me no notice. We had made an agreement, at least give me 2 months, at least give me a month's notice. I gave her 2 months to please, if that, to be out by that time, but give me notice of some kind because I rented the room to her.
She's not required to give you any notice, madam. You don't have a rental agreement with her. She doesn't have to give you any notice. She paid her rent through June. So let's get rid of July and August rent.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was a goldfish that he ate.
How big a goldfish?
It was yay big.
A big goldfish. How much did this fish cost?
Well, it was a purchase. He had it for 4 years. It was purchased at $25. Here's the fish, and they go by the size.
No, that wasn't the fish.
Oh, that wasn't the fish.
It was a goldfish.
It was a goldfish.
It was
There
a
was
goldfish.
2 of them that had died.
Just
It
a
was a
second.
goldfish that he ate.
How big a goldfish?
It was yay big.
A big goldfish.
And I offered her, when I went to retrieve my property, I offered her a koi fish from my dad's pond.
She's lying. She is lying.
Whatever. He bought the fish, you say, for $25. So right now she owes you $25. You have to return her property, madam.
Oh, yeah, that's no problem.
Good. And you owe her $25 for the fish.
Okay.
You got it?
All right.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
It really upset me to find out what she did when I was out of town. She allowed that friend to bite off the fish's head, which is really pretty sad.
I didn't know until it was actually being eaten. So, and I tried to tell him not to eat it, and he ate it anyways. He was...
Judge, this is case number 263 on the calendar in the matter of Garay versus Romaniak. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Don't look so unhappy. It's only money. Right?
That's right.
It's only money. Well, you had an unusual arrangement with the defendant, according to your complaint, and he seems to acknowledge this was your arrangement. You were dating, you became romantically involved, decided to live together. Mm-hmm. You're from the United States?
Yes.
And you're from?
Canada.
And this was the arrangement that you made, from my understanding, that while you were in the United States, where you were planning to spend half your time, you would pay.
Mm-hmm.
And while you were in Canada,
I would pay.
You would pay. So you spent 6 months in the States, and you paid
That's right.
all the expenses.
Yes.
And then you moved to Canada, and you ran out of money.
I paid. I'll explain that a little later.
Okay. So tell me, how did you enter into this rather unique arrangement with funds?
Well, it was just that we were going together last year, and then in November, we got engaged in September. In November, he left, and we weren't together for a while, and then in April, we got back together again. And in the middle of April, he asked me, would I like to go to Canada to live with him? And, or to stay up there in Canada for the summer months, and then come back, because I worked in Palm Springs. And I said, yes. I said, but how are we going to, or we worked out how we were going to pay for the money and that. And I said, well, while we're here, while we're in the United States, I will pay for everything here. So I paid for his payments on his house insurance, his electric, his gas bills, and everything.
So you were living in his house?
No, I have my own house. We both have a home in Palm Springs.
So that you were paying for your house, and you were paying for his house while he was here?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So then we left, and we went to Canada. We arrived in Canada. We first went to see his daughter, and then we went to a little town called Penticton. So we started looking around and that, and we saw this one house that we thought. And we said, well, Dad, I wish we could get it. And I said, well, look, I will put the money down, the $3,000 down. You pay the payments on it. So that was the arrangements. And then we moved in the house on June the 1st.
This house that you purchased?
The one we purchased in Penticton, Canada. Okay. And we lived in that house. The middle of July, he left me and went to see his daughter for 4 days.
Did he tell you he was leaving?
Yes, he told me the day before that he was leaving the next morning.
Had you had an argument? Had you not been
We had
getting
been
along?
bickering and arguing, and it was just like he had his children there, and I was tired and everything else. But he left and went and lived with his daughter for 4 days. When he came back, he says, that's it. The house is going on the market. He had been to the real estate office already. When he came back, I was at the neighbors. I was so upset and everything else that he had left. So I came home. I didn't know what to do. I just said, I can't live like this. The tension was so bad and everything else. So I left, and I came down back to Palm Springs. My car was in bad condition. He had supposed to fix the radiator. He didn't. I had to keep putting water in it. My air conditioning wasn't working. I had 2 blowout tires.
It was
and
a terrible
emotionally,
experience.
it was a horrible thing.
It was a horror.
Go ahead. When I got back, I had to go to the doctors. My friends had to take me to the doctors. My nerves were so bad, and I've been on nerve pills since. All I want is, gives me my money, I'll sign the house to him, and then I'm finished.
What money are you talking about, Ms.
$5,000.
Well,
Not all the other money I've spent, the $5,000.
What's $5,000 for?
The $3,000 are for the house, the money I put down on the house. He can have the house. And also, the rest is right here, what I have paid out. On his house here, all the payments, the house, expenses that I had coming down. I had to stay in a motel, gasoline,
well, Ms.
my
Garay,
car breaking down.
All those expenses you're not going to get back. You know that. You know that.
But it still comes to $4,845.20. And this is what I have paid out, Your Honor.
Well, what you've paid out is not necessarily something that he agreed to pay you back.
And this is what he has paid out. The bottom amount is American money.
All right, sir, let me hear you.
Your Honor, I don't believe what she's saying.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Last year, I took her for... Yes, ma'am.
You don't have to believe what she's saying.
Okay.
I got to believe what she's saying.
Last year, I took her for 4 months down to Canada. I paid all expenses, right? I sent her a plane ticket to Winnipeg. That's 3,000 miles away from here. And we toured the whole Western Canada. I took her through the prairies to Banff, Lake Louise, ice fields, and all over.
Who paid for that?
I paid for the whole thing for 4 months, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I promise to give you the best of myself and to ask of you no more than you can give. That's her promise to me.
And later today,
The first time and the last time I've ever met her, she tried running me and my husband off the road because she was, I guess, mad that he was going to stay with me and not her.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Splitting up after an 11-month romantic relationship, Jean Garay now claims John Romaniuk owes her thousands.
Okay, let me ask you this question. So what made you decide that this arrangement, this relationship, wasn't going to work when you went to your daughters?
Because when we got to Vancouver, Palm Springs, we had an argument because every day her man friend phoned for about 45 minutes on the phone while I was there. And I said I didn't like the idea that he phoning every day. So she got mad at me. She said, that's none of your business. So she said, leave the house. So I left. I didn't see her until middle of April.
When you were back in Canada, sir, you bought the house.
I'm coming to that, ma'am.
Get there.
Oh, then middle of April, somehow we got back together.
Shh. You're in the house that
Yes.
you just bought.
Yes.
You decide to go to your children.
Why? Because when my son came over to visit us, my granddaughter spilled a little bit of milk on a rug that we didn't have no furniture or anything like that. So she got mad and she said, your son doesn't know how to bring the children up.
So that's when you
got mad. So I got angry. So I went to my daughter's place, because my daughter's got I have 4 grandchildren, and to spend over there. When I came back, she put the sign of her own on to sell the house. House was for sale. I said, what are you doing? And then beside that, all the payments were...
So don't tell me about payments, because let me tell you what my thinking is, sir. She put down $3,000 towards the purchase price of that house. Now, you have family in Canada. Your son lives there, your grandchildren live there, and you will be going back to Canada.
Yes.
And you love this house that you originally bought.
Yes.
So it seems to me that if you are no longer a couple...
Yes.
That this house is something that shouldn't be binding you together.
No.
Right?
For sure.
Right.
Mr. Romaniuk, what I'm saying to you, sir, is she doesn't want to know you anymore. You don't want to know her anymore.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you shouldn't have to be bothered with this business. She should be out of the real estate business in Canada, because but for you, she wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
Got it? So you, sir, are going to give her the $3,000 to get her out of the Canada business. You got it? And then if you sell the house for more, she will wish you good luck. And if you sell the house for less and you don't get the $3,000 back, so be it. And if you can rent the house and make a couple of bucks when you rent the house, terrific. And if you want to live there and retire there yourself, you can do that. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I promise to give you the best of myself and to ask of you no more than you can give. I promise to accept you the way you are. I promise to respect you. I promise to love you in good times and bad times. That's her promise to me. Now I didn't care what I spent because I loved her and I enjoyed every minute with her. That's my
He loved me, but I couldn't walk down the street and look at anybody else because I was going to bed with them all.
And now the next case.
Parties on Newdecker versus Key. Step forward, please.
29-year-old hairdresser Lisa Newdecker is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Christopher Key, 30, for money she loaned him before he met his current wife, Melissa.
Well, I've read your papers. There are a couple of interesting little quirks in these papers that I want to find out about. But basically, Miss Newdecker, this was your boyfriend about 5 years ago.
About 6.5 actually is when I started dating him.
And some 5 years ago, you lent him some money.
Over the course of the time we dated, yes.
How did you lend him this money?
He was short of cash and needed to get miscellaneous items, and I went with him and used my credit cards.
So it was basically credit card bills?
Yes.
And how much altogether was it that he charged at that point?
It was approximately $2,600.
And when you separated, according to these papers, he made a lot of payments.
Yes.
But that he still owes you $870.37.
Approximately, yes.
When was the last time he made a payment?
On October 4th. I received the check about October 7th.
And then he stopped making payments?
Yes.
Why?
Well, in the beginning of the breakup, there was a discrepancy when she came to me with the amount of how much was owed. I didn't remember it totaling up to $2,600, and I told her at the time that I didn't remember it being $2,600, and she insisted that it was.
So when you insist that it was and you say it wasn't, did you look over all the bills?
No,
Why?
because we were separated, it wasn't a matter of me going over and sitting down with her and going over and saying this was mine, that wasn't. She said that it was, and I had figured it to be around $1,500, $1,600, and
Well,
which is a considerable difference.
So why didn't you go over there and look over the bills? That's a $1,000 discrepancy.
We weren't a couple any longer. It just
So what? You weren't a couple. It seems to me it's now more of a business transaction than anything else. You mean you just thought you'd blow it off?
No. I didn't just think I'd blow it off. It was, like I said, I didn't see it that way, and she's seen that it did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sometimes men do really dumb things. You always get caught because women are great snoops.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 29-year-old hairdresser Lisa Newdecker is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Christopher Key, 30, for money she loaned him before he met his current wife, Melissa.
She had the papers to show you, sir, what items you purchased, I assume. Do you still have them?
Yes.
Well, take a look. 5 years later, sir, take a look.
It's a list of what all the paperwork is.
Once again, like I said, we were a couple at the time, and a lot of these items on here, if you would look them over, I don't know if she's gave you a list of this.
I have nothing.
Would be considered as, you know, when we lived together, if we went out someplace and I paid, I didn't consider it to be a loan.
What do you mean?
Like there's an item on here, half the cost of portraits that we had done together.
Just a second. You had portraits done together. And she put down half the cost.
Right.
I paid the full amount on my credit card.
Well, that sounds fair to me. Doesn't that sound fair to you? Did you go and sit for the portrait?
Well, yes, I did.
She's not asking you to pay for the whole thing, just half.
Right. I understand that.
So give me another one.
Sega game.
Sega game.
Oh, sorry, Sega game tapes.
Those yours?
Yeah. They are now. At the time, you know, like I said, we were a couple.
You're a couple. So a Sega game, yours. Go.
Well,
give me another one.
Compact discs. Did she listen to the music too? I don't know which
Just a
specific
sec.
compact discs they are. Building supplies. I don't remember that one. Building supplies.
What are
for
building
what?
supplies?
I don't remember exactly what it was for, but it was from Builder Square, and he was a subcontractor. I'm not. So
Which
I would
is
have
true. I
no
was
need.
a subcontractor, but at the same time, building supplies. Was it for something that we did? I remember the place that we lived in. There was a. We were going to put a fence around the place for the guy that we leased from. You know, I mean, there was just different items at different
just
times.
a second. Did you put a fence around the house?
No, we didn't. But the
Well,
materials
if you
were.
didn't, then what are you telling me the story about?
My point is this, though, Your Honor. When we lived together, the things that she bought, I didn't keep an itemized list, so I can't very well stand here and argue with her and say, well, I bought this and you bought that, so we should be even, because, like I said, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't keep receipts for different things that you buy for each other, but she did because she put them on her card. Now, I don't see, whereas, like I said, in a relationship, that you just do that as a couple.
See the things, please?
Or at least I do.
Miss Newdecker, let me look through some of these things. Men's dress clothes for grandfather's funeral.
I didn't remember that she'd bought them. Like I said, of course, I didn't remember what all was on the list.
She's got the list and she's got the bills. You need a muffler and brakes for your car at one point?
I don't remember that either, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. This has been,
Did you have
like I said,
an El
5 years ago.
Camino?
Yes, I did.
There you go. All right, now, so I am assuming for the purpose of this case that originally you owed her the $2,600 and that you made payments and she's kept very careful records of those payments and that all she claims that you owe her is $870. But what I really think you're probably angry about, sir, is that she wrote a letter to you which your wife opened. This is your wife?
Yes.
That created some problems for you?
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the amount that I owed her. I honestly did not remember those other items, so
Okay, well,
I didn't
now-
believe that I owed them.
Well, now you do. So your wife opened this letter, and did that distress you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, step up here. Why did it distress you?
Because she said on the letter that my husband had went to see her 9.5 weeks ago, and I had no idea he was keeping in contact with her because of the first time and the last time I've ever met her, she tried running me and my husband off the road. Because she was, I guess, mad that he was going to stay with me and not her. We had only been dating on and off for a month.
How long are you married?
2 years now.
Mm-hmm. Everything okay? Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any children?
Yep.
How old?
She's going to be 21 months.
And that's his baby?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you have a seat? How come you're still going to this lady to cut your hair?
The purpose for me going to talk to her was because I owed her this money. But I did tell her that I would pay her.
And while you were there, you got your hair cut?
Yeah, I went to her place of business to see her. I don't...
Going to her place of business is one thing. Sitting down and schmoozing and having your hair cut is another thing. That's what really made your wife angry. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you charge him for the haircut?
Yeah, I gave him a discount, though.
Should have charged him full price.
I know that now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Key, sometimes men do really dumb things. I don't know why they do that. They think they can get away with it. You always get caught. You know why? Because women are great snoops. Terrific. They can smell something that isn't right. Go to a barber. Meanwhile, it sounds to me, Mr. Key, that you got more trouble than the $870 that you owe this lady. It also looks to me as if you've got a very nice but very sad wife and a 21-month-old baby. So you better get your act together. You owe her $870.37. Pay her. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I don't know why she's being so ignorant
Because
as to
he's
take
been-
him to court and drag us all the way over here.
It has been
and
5
be
years,
ignorant.
and like I said, I was
Because he's
wrong
been
about the
making
amount.
payments, and he didn't want you to find out that he had been in contact with me for
That's
the full
right,
5
because you tried
years.
running us off the road.
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you did.
Let's go.
I feel kindly towards him. I'm sad to see that his wife has so much control over him. Bye-bye. Nice to meet you.
Your Honor, it's case number 328 on the calendar in the matter of Wishard versus Hayes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Oh, Miss Wishard. You have a problem.
Yes.
You had an on-again, off-again relationship with this gentleman.
Yes.
According to these papers, mostly off.
Yes.
But for a fleeting moment while it was on, you got yourself pregnant. Now it's off. Right? What are you laughing about? She didn't do that by herself. Right? And to add insult to injury, he owes you money.
Yes.
So, why don't you tell me what he owes you money for?
He owes me around $660. In January, we got an apartment together under the pretense that he was going to get a salary job. He had been working for his brother, and it was kind of a partnership relationship. So if they didn't get paid, they didn't get paid.
How long had you been together up until that point?
Around 2 years.
And were you living together before that?
For about 3 months prior to that, but not before that.
Had you discussed getting married?
A few times.
Did you do the talking or did he do the talking?
I guess it depended on the situation. you know, when I felt like I wanted to, I would talk to him, and usually when he would screw up, then he would talk to me about it.
What do you mean when he would screw up?
When, you know, when he had done something wrong and knew he was at fault, then he would say, oh, baby, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to be with you forever. Let's get married.
He actually used the M word.
Yes, yes.
Spending the rest of my life with you, wanting to be with you together, I've heard a lot since I've been sitting here. The M word I haven't heard so much. So you took this new apartment.
Yes.
You both signed the lease.
Yes.
And what happened?
We got 2 weeks free rent because we moved in the middle of January. And then it was coming time for rent to be due at the beginning of February. He had not gotten a salary position with his brother or with any other company. And I told him that he either needed to get the rent money together or get out. And then I said, no, I don't even want to bother with that. Either you need to leave or I need to leave, and we need to settle up on the lease.
Was it the financial frustration that finally
that was part of it, and just he wasn't owning up to his responsibility. I would have never moved in the larger and more expensive apartment if he had just told me, no, Amy, I'm not gonna get a salary position. I'm gonna keep working for my brother. Then at least I would have known, and it would have been up to me at that time if I wanted, you know, to move on further or drop it there. But
what kind of work do you do?
I'm a loan officer for a mortgage company.
So either he was going to leave or you were going to leave.
Right.
What happened?
And I had decided that I would leave. I went and got my things, and we agreed that we were going to come in a few days later and sign papers for him to take over responsibility of the lease. Then, prior to when we were supposed to go in and sign the papers, they called me and said he had moved all his things out, which was untrue because we had already decided that I was going to leave and he was going to take over the lease. I even told him I would pay that half for that month where he could find a roommate, and he said there were too many painful memories and he just couldn't stay there.
So $660 is half of the rent for February?
Well, we had to break the lease. So they charged us that month's rent, plus they charged us another month's rent, you know, for breaking the lease, plus 2 months utility fees. And I have all the fees that they...
So it all comes to $660?
His half.
And what else do you say he owes you for?
And then I loaned him $450. Later on that year, he said he needed to pay some other kind
Well, when did this happen?
In January.
Of '97?
Yes.
So after you broke up and after everything else, you lent him more money?
Yes.
Amy!
Yeah. Well, we were on speaking terms at the time and on a friendship basis.
So what did he need this money for?
He said he needed to pay lawyer's fees or court fees for some other case he was going to.
What other case?
I think it might have been a custody battle. I'm not sure.
And you gave him the money?
Yes.
Do you have proof that you gave him the money?
I have a check that I wrote out to cash. I didn't write it to him.
Well, somebody had to cash it.
That he cashed at my bank.
Oh. And when did you find out you were pregnant?
In August.
So after you broke up in January, you were a little more than just friends.
Yeah, later on. Yes, ma'am.
But then you broke up again?
Well, before I found out I was pregnant, we were trying to work things out. And prior to me being pregnant, I had taken a trip, and I told him, he knew I was going, but I didn't call him before I left, and he was upset over that. So when I told him I was pregnant, he said that he wasn't the father and that he didn't take any responsibility.
Well, you'd be able to establish that if you have to after the baby's
Well,
born.
later on he said he was, but...
In any event, later on,
right.
You'll be able to do blood tests, and there won't be any issue with regard to that, if that's what you want.
Right.
Okay. I'm ready.
Prior to signing the new lease, we were going through some problems, and I asked Amy, I kept asking over and over, if she's not comfortable with it, let's don't sign this new lease. She kept saying that she was, so therefore we went and signed the new lease.
What do you mean? That's all very soft.
What?
You were going through some problems. You mean emotional problems? You were fighting? What do you mean?
She wasn't comfortable where we were at. I don't think she was comfortable with me. Just things of that nature, and I kept asking her, you know, before we make this next move, I want you to be comfortable. And she kept assuring me that she was. So we made this next move, and before I moved out, she moved out. In the same day, or it may have been the next day, I'm not sure, she moved back in. So then, the next day, we had this discussion where more or less she kicked me out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Why would I just give him $450? He said, yes, I will pay you back.
I don't even remember getting the money.
And later today,
And I told her that she needed to bug off. That's just my words. Because that was my son. I carried him 9 months, and she had nothing to say.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amy Wishard claims Ken Hayes owes her for a loan and a broken lease. Ken says he doesn't owe the soon-to-be mother of his child anything.
Let's make it easy. If a relationship doesn't work out, this doesn't look like the kind of lady, and you've known her a long time, who conned you into going into another apartment in order to throw you out so that 2 weeks later she'd have to move out. That doesn't make sense. She's an intelligent woman, right?
Yes, she is.
So what she was hoping for was that your relationship would work. And it seems to me, from what you told me, sir, that you both have tried to make it work even after that February when you were no longer together, right?
Right.
So she shouldn't have to bear the full financial responsibility for the apartment and for the lease and breaking the lease, right? That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Now let's talk about this $450, this check for cash for $450. What'd you need the money for?
As looking back on it, Your Honor, we're in a relationship, and in a relationship, you exchange gifts, money, things of that nature. I never looked at it as being a loan. I have to pay it back.
What did you need the money for, sir, is my question.
I don't recall. I don't even remember getting the money.
Were you involved in some sort of litigation in
No.
April?
No.
Do you have a child?
Yes.
How old is your child?
She's 5 years old.
Had you been to court with the child's mother
No.
around April?
No.
Were you having problems with visitation?
No.
Well then, what did you need the money for, sir?
I don't recall. I don't even remember getting the money.
Your Honor, he came to my place of work. I was working at a bank at the time. Amy, I need to borrow $450. I promise you I'll pay you this back in the next couple days. I said, Ken, are you sure that's a lot of money? I can't just be throwing around $450. Why would I just give him $450? He said, yes, I will pay you back. And when I spoke to him about the incident with the rent, I said, and you owe me $450, and he said, I haven't paid you back for that yet? Now, why would he say that if it was a gift? He knew it was a loan.
When is your baby due?
May.
Are you still working with your brother?
Yes.
You finally making a living?
Yeah. Thank you.
When this baby comes, and I assume when you are satisfied beyond any shadow of a doubt that this baby is yours, you're going to pay support for the baby?
Yes.
Great. We're going to start now by filling back up her little nest egg for money that you owe her. That's $660 and $450 that she loaned to you in April of 1997. Grand total is $1,110. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties on Davidson versus Davidson. Step forward, please.
Banker Bobby Davison is suing her ex-husband, Louis Davison, for half of their son's funeral costs.
You folks have been divorced for a long time. How many years?
30, approximately.
And sadly, your son was killed in an automobile accident when he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
How old was he? 30?
36.
And according to your complaint, Ms. Davison, your former husband agreed to pay for half of your son's funeral expenses.
That's correct.
And then he reneged on that agreement and, according to him, gave you $1,000 towards the expenses. Is that right?
Yes.
He has a defense that is interesting. So why don't you tell me about the arrangements that you started to make for your son and how your former husband was involved?
Well, at the time that I received word that my son had passed, and we went to the funeral home to make the arrangements for the burial, it was agreed on that we would go 50-50 on the funeral expenses.
Well, according to these papers, let me stop you for a moment.
Sure.
You agreed in the funeral director's office that each of you would be responsible for half the bill. But then, according to these papers, the funeral director said that since your son was married, you had no right legally to make the arrangements because even though you're his parents, you were not his next of kin. His wife had to approve the agreement. Is that right? There was another meeting with the funeral director.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And who was present at that meeting?
His wife, my ex's wife.
That's you?
Yes, ma'am. And myself.
You weren't there?
No, I was not.
Why weren't you there?
I was working.
Okay, so you sent your wife
So
in
I
your
sent
stead.
my wife to represent me.
Fine. And what happened at that meeting?
Well, at that meeting is when the Mrs. Davison, Sue Davison, and Tammy and I went in to review the casket that we had picked out. Then Sue Davison said that we should change it to a wooden box, that her father was buried in a pine box, and why couldn't we bury it? And I told her that she needed to bug off. That's just my words. Because that was my son. I carried him 9 months, and she had nothing to say or do with my funeral arrangements that was being made. Because Tammy financially was not able to take care of the expenses. And it was between my ex and myself.
So what happened?
So after a few choice words with Mrs. Davison, Sue Davison, she said that she would give Tammy $1,000, and Tammy was to do with that whatever she wanted to do with it. And so Tammy, in terms, handed it over to the mortician, and that was applied to the funeral expenses.
Is that pretty much the story, sir?
So far, yes.
And how much were the expenses in total?
I don't have exact total, but Mr. Davison's share would be $2359.67.
Now, does that include the $1,000 that he gave you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So you've given him credit for that?
Yes,
so that
sir.
the funeral was
approximately
$6,500, $6,600.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Hopefully, when people come to court, they can reach some sort of resolution, even without somebody banging them over their heads.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bobby Davison wants her ex-husband, Louis Davison, to pay his share of their son's funeral costs. Louis says Bobby changed the arrangements at the last minute, making the funeral too expensive.
Okay, Mr. Davison. Initially, you agreed to share the expenses with your former wife. And now you said no. Tell me why, sir.
Okay, originally, if I could approach you and show you this, or somebody could show you this, that when we were talking to the mortician, or the gentleman who was making the arrangements, that when he found out that Tammy was still legally married to my son, that everything that we had done to that point was null and void.
Okay. May I see the paper that you have, sir?
Okay, and this is the original one that we had signed up to that point where he found out.
I'd like to see it, please.
Let's just take that knife. That was the original form that we had signed.
Okay. So the total of what you originally agreed to was $36.31. Is that correct?
At that point, yes.
Now, Ms. Davison, the original agreement that your husband said, I will pay for half, was for $3,631. At your second meeting, you chose to spend $6,500, according to you.
Well, at the time, all the funeral expenses was supposed to be 50-50.
That's not what I'm asking you.
I know you're not, but that does not include an open and closing of the grave, which I had to go out and pay myself.
How much was it to open and close the grave?
$1,024.
Now, Mr. Davison, did you understand, sir, that there would be an additional cost to open and close the grave?
At that time, no, I did not.
Well, I'm going to ask you an interesting question, because this is more of a moral question than a legal one. If you had known, I don't want you to try to remove yourself from where you are right now, but if you had known at the time that to open and close the grave was going to cost $1,025, would you have agreed to pay for half of that?
I would agree to help, yes.
Okay. That still, Miss Davidson, brings the total to $4,600, not $6,500. He agreed to pay $3,631. So I believe that an argument can be made that you obligated yourself for the amount of $3,600. You only paid half of $3,600 or $1,800, and you only gave her $1,000, which means minimally you owe her $800 for the expenses of the funeral. The only thing that I want to ask you, Mr. Davison, the original amount that you agreed to contribute did not include the opening and closing of the grave. It was only for the funeral director. And I'm asking you if today you are prepared to contribute something towards the opening and closing of the grave.
Okay, if the circumstances at the time, if, right now, to answer your question,
You'll feel better if you say yes.
Well, there's no question I'd feel better, but that was not the problem.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Hopefully, when people come to court, they can reach some sort of resolution, even without somebody banging them over their heads. I think that morally, if not legally, you should be responsible for seeing to it that your son received an appropriate burial. And certainly that includes opening and closing the grave. That's what the cost was.
Yeah.
Okay? What you originally agreed to, I am going to portion in half. And I'm also going to portion half of the cost of internment to you because you've consented to do that, which I think is the right thing. You'll sleep better, Mr. Davison.
I haven't no problem sleeping.
You'll sleep better. So, Ms. Davison, I'm giving you a judgment in the amount of $1,327. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Judges number 12 on the calendar in the matter of Edwards versus Edwards.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I must tell you that when I read these papers over, your papers over last night, I was struck by the fact that I had seen these same problems with different names on them for 20 years. Sad situation. You two folks have been married for how long?
18 years.
And have how many kids?
3.
How long ago were you divorced?
Year and a half ago.
According to your papers, Mr. Edwards, your youngest child's name is Elizabeth. How old is she?
She's 8.
And you enjoy regular visitation with her. She lives with her mother.
Very liberal visitation now.
What kind of visitation do you enjoy with her?
I have every other weekend, like the standard rule. I also, on Mondays, I have her overnight until Tuesday when school starts. I have her 2 hours after school on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And on Wednesday, I have her until 9 o'clock.
How old are your other 2 children?
I have one that's 19 and one that's 17.
The 19-year-old's boy or girl?
Girl.
And who does she live with?
She lives with her mother, but she's at college, so no one gets to see her much.
And the other child's boy?
Yes.
And who does he live with?
He lives with me.
All right, why don't you tell me about this problem in your own words?
Okay. This past spring break, it was at the beginning of April, it was my ex-wife's year to have my daughter for spring break. And because of our agreement on visitation, if she has to work and Elizabeth doesn't have school, she's to bring her to me at 7 in the morning. Well, because of this, I talked to my ex-wife about it, and I said, well, since you're going to be bringing her over here every day anyway, why don't you just let her go with me and my son, my fiance, on vacation with us? And she said, yeah, that'd be fine.
And it was your regular period to have her during that spring break?
Yes, it was.
But you were going to be working?
Correct.
Okay. So that sounds like a nice thing for Elizabeth.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, I had scheduled, we were going to go to Cancun. Elizabeth's been there before and really wanted to go. I didn't have the money. I was waiting on my tax return to come in. So we changed that to, when my tax return came in, that we were going to go down to Daniel Boone National Forest and ride our dirt bikes. My girlfriend and myself and my son, we all ride four-wheel dirt bikes. So when the tax return came in, I went and bought Elizabeth her own, and we were teaching her to ride it. When a week before we were scheduled to leave, I get a letter from my ex-wife saying she was mad, which this is what she usually does when she's upset, is cancel any special visitation I have. So I got a letter a week before we were supposed to leave. Sorry, you can't take her with you now. At this time, I'd already put deposits down on a cabin, bought the dirt bike, bought her equipment so that she wouldn't get hurt, which at her insistence made sure I had every piece there was. And I was just out a lot of money for setting up this vacation.
How much money were you out?
$1,547.47.
Elizabeth still has the dirt bike,
Yes, well, yes.
and that was included.
Yes, yes it was.
Did you lose your deposit and the equipment she still has to ride the dirt bike?
Well, I had to buy the equipment.
I know, but she still has it, and she still uses
Correct,
it when she rides
correct.
the dirt bike.
Right.
Did you lose your deposit on the cabin,
Yes, I
Mr.
did.
Edwards? And how much was that?
$175.
Why don't you tell me why you think your wife changed, your former wife changed her mind about you taking Elizabeth on vacation?
She has these tendencies to go off.
Well, you must have had an argument.
Obviously.
Well, obvious. So what
it doesn't
was the
take
argument
much.
Well, what was the argument about?
I have no clue at this point.
Well, Miss Edwards, why don't you tell me?
He told me about a week and a half before that he was planning on filing for full custody, and the idea that I gave her up for spring break, which was supposed to be mine, was going to be used against me.
Were you having an argument at the time?
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell me what the argument was about? Because Mr. Edwards doesn't appear to be a stupid man, and it would be stupid to tip your hand about a plan for a lawsuit.
Well, he does that to me a lot because he knows it upsets me, and usually it doesn't turn out to be true. But he came out to the car, and we were talking about, actually we were talking about something totally different. We were talking about a boat.
Tell me about it.
We had two boats when we got divorced, and he got the sailboat and he gave me the speedboat, and I was planning on selling it, and I had asked him if I could have the keys to it because he had told me he had the keys, and he said, I don't know what you're talking about. And at that point I got mad and I said, spring break? Oops, I don't know what you're talking about. And he got very mad and he dented my car, pounded his fist into it.
Okay, so let me go through this now. You got into an argument about property.
Correct.
You wanted to sell the speedboat. You said to him, where are the keys? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. Does that sound familiar, sir?
About the keys to the boat? Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
And so you retaliated by saying, spring break, whoops, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he retaliated and said,
it's too late. You already agreed to spring break. And didn't you know, he said, I was going to use this against you anyways because I'm filing for full custody. So I sent him a letter saying that I had reconsidered spring break and that she was going to stay with me.
Don't you both feel foolish? Hmm?
A little bit.
Sure. Because ultimately, the one who was disappointed because you two people spoke in anger and in haste. Both of you too, Miss Edwards. That wasn't a nice thing to say. Whoops, spring break. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss Edwards, I don't know what you know about my judicial reputation. Sometimes I'm a screamer.
And later today,
I think he just buys a lot of extra stuff he doesn't need.
Men like toys.
Yes, they do. Cars, especially.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chuck Edwards is suing his ex-wife, Tracy, over money spent on a vacation that included their 8-year-old daughter.
According to your papers, Miss Edwards, you went and spoke to your lawyer.
Yes, I did.
And your lawyer is the one who said to you, you don't have to give him spring break.
He said I was under no obligation to give him spring break.
I'm going to ask you this question. You really don't have to answer it. Did your lawyer say to you, but it's the right thing to do to give him spring break?
No, he didn't. He had me discuss it with my daughter and see how she felt about it, and she didn't care either way.
Yeah, we shouldn't put kids in the middle about that either. Kids don't have an opportunity of picking their parents. Very few parents are perfect. If you're fortunate enough to have two reasonable parents in a divorce situation, you're very fortunate. Miss Edwards, I think that what Mr. Edwards retorted to you was wrong. when he said, I'm going to use the fact that you let her go on spring break with me when I petitioned the court for full custody. You don't intend to do that, do you, Mr. Edwards?
No, not at this time.
Well, does Elizabeth seem happy with her mom?
She seems, for what she's gone through, she seems very well adjusted. It's amazing.
Well, then that's a credit to both of you. Sounds to me as if you're two very nice people who got into a very stupid tiff. Miss Edwards, I don't know what you know about my judicial reputation. Sometimes I'm a screamer. I find it difficult to scream at you. I think that you're a nice lady.
Thank you.
And I don't think that the canceling of this trip is hopefully indicative of the way you do business. I also, Mr. Edwards, don't think that your response to your wife when she said the wrong thing to you, which was, whoops, spring break, what's spring break, and your retort to her, I'm going to seek full custody because you were angry, was appropriate. So I think that you were both wrong. Your out-of-pocket expenses were $175. You're going to split them.
Sounds fair.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Edwards, I wish you good fortune. You owe him $87.50. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Ronning versus Alexandrides. Step forward.
San Diego college student Susan Ronning says she loaned her boyfriend Jason Alexandrides $1,500 toward a car. Now that they've split, he won't pay her back.
You know when a loan becomes a gift? When the relationship is over. Did you ever hear that?
I've never heard that one.
Nor have I.
Good, because I just made it up. You should put it on coffee mugs. Ms. Roning?
Ronning. Yes.
Ronning. You and the defendant had a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship when you were both in the Navy, according to your papers.
Correct.
Is that right? And that relationship was a little under 2 years?
Just, yes.
During that time, you say he wanted to buy a car, and you lent him how much money?
$1,500
Put that on your bank card.
on my credit card, yes.
How much after that did you break up?
Probably about 4 months.
No money.
None.
Tell me what your arrangement was about paying back the money.
The loan happened in October, and I gave him till April to be able to pay me back. And he hadn't paid me anything since then or ever since.
Did you talk to him about it?
Yes, I did. And even when we were breaking up, I asked him about it. He said, don't worry about it, I'll pay you. I'm good on the money. And I trusted him, believed him, because he's paid me before. I have loaned him money before, and he has paid me back. And so I had no problem with it. And
Why
so,
was he always in need of money?
I don't know.
Did he ever lend you money?
No, he's never lent me money. I've always been more financially stable than he has for some reason. I think he just buys a lot of extra stuff he doesn't need. Just guys, you know.
Men like toys.
Yes, they do. Cars especially.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She's like, well, you know, don't worry about it. It's close to Christmas. Meaning that it was going to be like a gift. That I told her, I said I was not going to be able to pay her back. She said...
You told her that?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Ronning is suing her former boyfriend, Jason Alexandrides, for money she says she loaned him for a car.
What kind of car was this?
1993 Ford Explorer.
Why didn't you pay her back the money?
To back up a little bit, she needed a car. So I had a 1989 Nissan 240SX that I sold to her. She only had $5,000, and I still owed $7,500 to the bank that I borrowed through. So I'm still paying on that loan today, and I have the loan paperwork with me. I just basically, the bank released the title to her in her name and kept the $2,500 on the loan to my signature that I'm still paying on. So
she gave you the $5,000.
She gave me $5,000.
You were living together at the time.
Correct.
Okay. You didn't make a gift of the car to her.
No.
And you were living together.
Correct.
So, let's go on with the story.
I was getting to the point. Anyway, so the leftover that I was still paying on was just kind of you know, that was the limit of her money, so I just told her I would just, that was it, pay on the rest. Because I owed $2,506 extra, okay? So later down the line when I needed...
You had another car.
Right, I needed to buy another car months later.
No, but you had another car when you sold her this car.
No.
So
No.
you were both using this car when you were living together?
Yeah,
No.
for a few months, period.
So for the few months, you sold her your car, she paid you for it, and the two of you together only had one car.
Right,
No.
but she
Just a second, you have to think about where he's going and think about whether he's hurting you or not by this story.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Then you needed a car.
I needed a car, so we went looking for cars together. She went with me. And we went to the Ford dealership, and we found the Explorer that I wanted. Now, I only had $1,500 down payment of my own money, and we needed $3,000, okay? And I financed the Explorer through my own lender, private bank. Susan gave me $1,500 from her.
Well, tell me how that came about, sir. You went looking for the Explorer, you went into the store, you had a salesman, he came over, he showed you this car. Let me hear how it happened.
Well, we just took it for a test drive.
Yes.
We liked it. And Susan and I had the conversation there at the dealership when they were gathering paperwork. I said, well, I don't have, you know, they were trying to make the deal. And she wanted to...
Tell me about the conversation. Now we're getting to it.
Okay, the conversation was, I don't have $3,000 when they came with the deal, I only have $1,500. And she said that if I needed it, she would give it to me, $1,500. And I said, are you sure? Because I'm still paying on the extra from the $240, you know. I'm still paying that $64.93 a month for that. And I'm not, you know, I just don't have the $1,500. She's like, well, you know, don't worry about it. It's close to Christmas. You know, we'll get through it. And that was the
Close to
arrangement.
Christmas, we'll get through what?
Well, meaning that it was going to be like a gift. That I told her, I said I was not going to be able to pay her back, you know. And she said.
You told her that sitting there?
Sitting there.
Sitting right there, you told her that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that true?
That's absolutely not true.
Well, tell me your recollection of what happened.
Okay, when we were sitting at the dealership, he needed the $1,500. He only had $1,500. He asked that I loan him the $1,500.
What did he say?
He said, remember the last times that you've loaned me money, I've paid you back. I've been good about paying you back. I said, yeah. This is a lot of money, though. He says, well, I've been good about the money. I promise to pay you back. I will pay you back. And I said, well, if you want this car and you want to make this transaction, I don't mind doing it as long as you pay me back. And he agreed to that. He said, fine, I'll pay you back.
I think probably somewhere in the middle of both of these stories lies the truth. Because quite frankly, it just doesn't sit well with me for two people who are living together, and I assume planning a future together if you're living together, to have that kind of in-depth discussion. For instance, you were so good about it in the past, you paid me money, I've lent you money, then you paid me back, and so I'm going to do this again. Somehow that doesn't sit right with me, nor does it sit right with me, sir. It's coming up towards Christmas and consider it a Christmas gift. Do you understand? So somewhere right in the middle of this is the accurate rendition. Now, when for the first time did you ask him back for the money?
I asked him in April. I talked to him before when we broke up, because we broke up before April, if he would pay me back. He
When
said
did
he
you
would.
break up?
We broke up in January.
Had you both decided that it wasn't a good relationship?
There's been other, he's kind of abusive and a little, he's very angry. He's an angry person. So I broke up with him.
Okay, you broke up in January.
Yes.
And you were paying your bank card all this time?
Yes, I'm paying my bank card. I had money on it already, and so I had interest accumulating. And so I still haven't been able to pay everything off because I'm still going to school. I'm a student at San Diego State, and I'm taking loans out. I've taken financial aid. There's no way I can give anybody money.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I was in the Navy for 4 years.
What are you doing now?
I'm still in the Navy now. It's my last week. I'm actually checking out of the Navy this week.
How much is the interest that you paid so far?
I called the bank and I asked them. It's $325 accumulated with no payments.
So it's a little less than what you're suing for. You were suing for $2,000. So
Yes,
it's
just
less
to
than
make
that.
sure it would cover. That's my advisor said just to do that.
So, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
deal with the money?
I don't believe so. But I'm not sitting up there, so here I am.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Listen, she purchased a car from you even when you were together. You had payments on that car. Through love and affection, you could have said to her, listen, don't pay me any money for the car. I want you to have it because I want you to have a safe car to drive. You didn't do that.
I couldn't afford to do that.
Well, she says she goes to school. She can't afford to make you a gift of $1,500. You knew she was going to school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you couldn't afford to do it, and she can't afford to do it. So she purchased a car from you. She had money saved up, I assume. I mean, who knows whether you could have gone out and sold that car for any more if you sold it privately. It's very possible that you couldn't have, that was really a fair market price for the car at the time you sold it to her. In any event, she paid you, you didn't pay her. That doesn't sound fair to me. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,825. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Judge's case number 347 on the calendar in the matter of Sanchez versus Henry. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Well, each of you claim that the other owes you money, just about the same amount of money, $2,600 change. Ms. Sanchez, you claim that this gentleman was living with you. He left owing you money for a variety of things, which you'll tell me about. You say you made a loan to her for lawyer, $1,500 for something. You'll tell me about that. So why don't you start from the beginning? How come the two of you were living together?
Sean said he had no place to go. And when we first moved together, he was getting kicked out of his apartment. I was leaving my apartment.
Had you been friends?
Yeah, we had been friends. We had met at work. And at the time, we were staying in a hotel, and it was like you pay every week. Then we found an apartment through one of his friends at work. He got the apartment in his name, okay? And then later I had got it put in my name. I have a rental agreement. And I was giving Sean the money because he knew the landlord. I had no idea, and I work at night. And so I would give Sean money every week to pay rent. Sean didn't pay rent. I have an agreement that we both signed saying that we're both 4 months in the hole in rent. And I'm like, you know, how in the world can this be? I give you money every week, you know?
What you're telling me is you gave him your share of the rent.
Every
How
week.
much was the rent?
$250.
$250 a month?
Each. Yes, each. It's $500 a month.
Okay. So you gave him your $250?
Yes.
And he never paid the rent?
No. I have a piece of paper saying right here that we're both, and he signed it. We both signed it, saying that we're 4 months in the rent, 4 months behind in the rent to this day.
Didn't I pay her 70?
I don't know. Do you have a receipt?
Shh, don't talk to each other. Don't talk to each other. Okay. You both signed that you're both responsible for half the rent. Did you pay the rent, sir?
When I moved out, I paid $750.
I'm talking about while you were living there with her.
We lived together for a whole year and a half.
Shh. How long were you living in the apartment together?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
And did you pay the rent?
Yes.
All that time?
Yes.
No, he didn't. He's lying.
Miss Sanchez?
Yes, ma'am.
You have rent receipts?
She had them all.
Did you ultimately pay all the rent?
Not yet. I am still in the hole because of Sean.
How did that come about? That you're in the hole?
Okay, Sean was unemployed. First, Sean moved out, okay, because me and Sean and my boyfriend were living together, right? And everything was fine, but we still owed her $2,000.
The three of you were living in the apartment?
Yes.
And the rent was $500?
Yes.
So
but my boyfriend didn't really live there. He wasn't responsible for any of the rent. That was my responsibility. He didn't hardly have any clothes there, okay? He was just,
you just told
there.
Me the three of you were living
in
there.
a two-bedroom apartment. In a two-bedroom apartment. Yeah. He had his own room. I had my own room. He had his company. I had my company. So my boyfriend didn't really live there. He had all his clothes someplace else. My boyfriend did. Sean was fired from his job. Came crying to me that he didn't have any place to go. Okay, no place to go. He couldn't go live with his brother. They're having problems. He can go live with his father. They're having problems.
So what you're saying to me, madam...
So I let him move back in. I let him move back in on the agreement that he helped me with households.
In May of 1997, sir, you signed an agreement that you owed her a total of, well, this would be $1,000. right? Because it says that total owing was $2,000. And Henry and Sanchez are responsible for 50% of the total, and you signed this, correct? So you acknowledged in May that you owed her $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Did you pay her?
I paid the landlord $750.
No, no. I'm not saying what you paid the landlord. I'm saying what you paid her.
Why would I owe her?
Because I gave you the money every day to pay the rent, and you didn't, stupid.
Now, you want me to dismiss your lawsuit?
No.
This is $2,000. Each of you owe half of that. So that's $1,000. Did you pay it or did you not pay it?
I paid $750. I guess I still owe the landlord $250.
When did you pay the landlord $750?
July?
When did you move out?
July?
No, shh. Show me the receipt.
I don't have that.
That makes this easy. So that's $1,000. What else does he owe you for?
He bought, through his work, I got a VCR because he could get it cheaper from Dow Stereo.
How much did you pay for it?
$160.
Okay.
That's all the money that I gave him for the VCR.
How much did you pay for the VCR?
Got a receipt right here.
Okay.
$213.
$213, and you gave him $160. Where's the receipt?
I didn't ask Sean for receipts.
Okay. Did she give you $160 for the VCR?
Every day I get...
You wanted a video camera.
Listen to me.
But you didn't.
You each want money from each other. It would be very foolish. So you say you bought it for $160, and you're going to show me a receipt for $213. And you claim that when he moved out, why did he move out?
Because he wouldn't do his chores, nor did he pay rent. The first month that he moved back in after he was unemployed, he went to Las Vegas, okay? That was on Memorial Day. Didn't tell me anything. And then he comes home, oh, I'm broke, I went to Las Vegas. Like, what the hell are you going to Las Vegas for? Oh, so I could see if I can win some more money. And I'm like, you've got to be stupid. And every day, that month that he was there and he was unemployed, I gave him money, because every day I had to go to work.
Are you finished?
Yes.
What's the address of this apartment where you live together?
802. Apartment A. He didn't help me with the chores. He didn't help me take care of it.
I don't care. I'm not your therapist, madam. This is a court.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Are you telling me that this attorney, under the penalties of perjury in the state of California, is lying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, really? Maybe I'll call him.
And later today,
She was in high demand because she was a natural blonde and had natural big breasts.
I'm sure if I chose to pursue that career instead of a research scientist, I would be in high demand, yes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dancer LaDonna Sanchez wants her former close friend Sean Henry to pay her for back rent. Sean says she kicked him out.
So what happened with the VCR that you said was yours?
He took it from me. I went to sleep. He went in my room and took it out of my room.
Okay. Now, what's your story?
I let her use it. I never said she can have it. I bought it.
Utter crap.
Shh, shh.
I said you could use it.
Now, you also say that you made some loans to him. You want to tell me about that?
The month that he moved in, since he was unemployed, he would ask me for money every day.
I'm not talking, Miss, listen to me. I'm not talking about the $5 and the $10 that you say you gave him because he was unemployed. Did you lend him any large sums of money for which he promised to make payment?
Not all at one time. Every day, can I borrow some money? Can I borrow some money?
Did you keep a record of that?
He was my best friend.
Did you keep a record? The answer is no. So you're just guessing about how much money you lent him?
No, I'm not. I knew how much money I had saved in my drawer before he had moved in.
So how much money did you give him?
$350.
I don't believe that you can.
I did. Every day I gave him $20 or $30 every day because he needed it.
So
he
did
needed
you
it for
write
gas.
down-
He was supposed to go look for a
Did
job.
you write-
I bought him news.
You're not listening to me, Miss Sanchez. I said, did you write down these numbers?
I didn't think I had to.
Well, then that's a problem.
He's supposed to be my best friend. He was supposed to be my little brother.
You're countersuing up for a lot of money too. Let me hear it.
Well, one time
Not well. Look at me.
she got arrested coming back across the border, and she needed a lawyer. So she called me crying, I need a lawyer. So I paid $1,500 for a retainer to try and help her out.
When was this?
June 26, 96.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
You just took out a piece of paper. What is that?
This is the piece of paper that was the only thing that I gotten from that lawyer. I saw that lawyer once. I knew it wouldn't do me any good. I cussed Sean out on the phone about what do I need a lawyer for? The lawyer wasn't going to do me any good.
Just a second. You went to see a lawyer.
No, I didn't. The lawyer came to jail. And I'm like...
Shh. Lawyer came to jail. Lawyers don't do anything for free.
I didn't ask him for the lawyer. I never asked him for the lawyer. And if I did ask for him a lawyer, it wouldn't be from him. It would have been from Rudy, my boyfriend.
Listen to me. Where were you when you paid this lawyer? Were you in...
I was...
California?
Yeah.
Does he have a receipt?
I have a feeling you two people deserve each other because you are, Miss Sanchez, irritating me. And I'm just about ready to show you the door. Do you understand?
Yes.
With nothing. Not your $1,100, nothing, if you do it again. You got it? I want you to show me any documentation, sir, that you have with regard to this lawyer.
Right here.
Can I see it, please? Well, this clearly is a letter from an attorney indicating that he accepted a non-refundable retainer in the amount of $1,500 from the defendant on your behalf on the 26th of June, 1996.
That's his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend's father. Why wouldn't he write him that piece of paper?
Are you telling me that this attorney, under the penalties of perjury in the state of California, is lying? Are you...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, really? Maybe I'll call him.
No,
Maybe I'll call him. You want me to call him?
Can you look at this for me for a minute?
I asked you a question. Do you think I have to call him?
No.
Right.
But he was never my attorney. I did not ask Sean to get me a lawyer.
How did you find out she had been arrested?
She called me from jail.
I believe that, Miss Sanchez.
I did not ask him.
How would he know that you're in jail unless you called him?
I did call him from jail.
And what did you call him for? To say, how are you?
No, we lived together.
This happened a long time ago, correct? Did you ever sue her for this money?
No.
Why?
So I cared about her.
Good.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I say something?
Sure.
When the lawyer thing came about...
You're lying, Miss Sanchez. Don't lie to me. I don't like when you lie to me.
I did not. Yeah. I'm not lying.
Sure you are. Now, was there ever an agreement that you had with her that she would repay this lawyer's fee to you?
Well, we had an agreement.
Oh, Mr. Henry, you don't want to go down that road, sir. I guess you do. You want to tell me about this agreement? Tell me what words we used, Mr.
Well,
Henry.
she said, get me out of here. Whatever it costs.
And you said?
I'll try the best I can. I borrowed the money from my brother.
No, don't tell me how you borrowed the money. She said, get me out of here. Right?
Yes.
And you did?
Well, I tried.
Okay. No, an agreement to pay it back means get me out of here, whatever it costs, and I will pay you back. That's a contract. That's an oral contract. But you didn't have that with her.
No.
Okay. Well, that's what I thought. So, that's honest.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You never paid rent. You didn't clean up the house. You didn't clean up your stuff. I had to sit up there and pick up after you. Bought food and everything.
And later today...
She begged me for sex, Your Honor. Literally.
Mr. Swan, you're not that attractive, sir.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Exotic dancer LaDonna Sanchez wants her former close friend Sean Henry to pay her for back rent, loans, and a stolen VCR.
I can't figure out who owns the VCR. I have a bill here for $213. So
She's also caused damage to my truck.
Shh. So I can't make a determination with regard to the VCR. I can only make a determination with regard to the contract that you both entered into, indicating that you are indebted to her for the amount of $1,000. Now, you want to tell me about this truck?
Yeah, she's damaged it.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, one time at work, she said she locked the keys in, so she had to break the back window, and I had to pay for that.
I paid him back.
Shh.
And when we were in a fight, I wouldn't let her drive it. She didn't have a license or insurance on it.
So what did she do to the truck?
She kicked it. Put a nice dent on the driver's side door.
Let me see.
And I got estimates of the damage right here.
Looks like there's lots of damage on this truck. Lots of scratches on this truck.
From his DUIs.
How about your boyfriend kicking it?
Oh, wonderful. You ready? Dismissed! Dismissed! Goodbye.
Party's not excused. Step out.
I don't understand why it was dismissed. Because I talked? He was supposed to be my best friend. Okay, he dogged me just because I won't be his stupid girlfriend. Sorry. Now it's dismissed because you're stupid. Never see my fucking money again. Make me sick.
And now the next case.
Party's on Maris versus Swan. Step forward.
32-year-old research scientist Ann Maris is suing her former friend, physical education instructor William Swan, for unpaid credit card bills.
Why do women give men credit cards?
I think it has something to do with the word convinced. Mr. Swan looked me straight in the eye and told me he loved me, wanted to marry me, that
That's
I thought
a
he
lie.
had morals.
Mr. Swan, go ahead.
I thought he had morals.
How did you
and
meet him?
I met him in the produce section of an Asian store, Asian market.
And how long did you know him before you put his name on your credit
5
card?
months.
And had you dated during that 5 months?
Beginning about 2 or 3 months prior to that, we started seeing each other on a more regular basis and talking pretty much every day on the phone, at least once.
So he needed some credit, and you said you'd give him credit on your card.
He said one morning I talked to him from work, and he said he desperately needed a refrigerator, that he was getting skinny, and that his brother wouldn't loan him the money, and that it would be about $500. And I told him I didn't have the money, and I thought we could find one a lot cheaper than that, as I had paid $100 for mine, and that I would be willing to let him put it on a credit card that had no other money on it, so we could be clear. And he had told me he was going to pay it out of his tax return, and he didn't know why his brother wouldn't loan him the money.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To make a long story short, because
Sure.
Mr. Swan is going to tell me what his defense is, he ran up bills on the credit card totaling $1,500.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And he does not dispute that.
No.
Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
But this is your defense, that you had an agreement with her. And your agreement was that as long as you maintained the payments on the credit card, that she would keep it open.
Absolutely.
But that there came a point when you took out a significant amount of money. How much, $1,100?
Yeah.
And that after you took out that amount of money, she closed the credit card down.
Yes.
So your defense is that she breached the agreement
Yes.
by canceling the credit card, and therefore you do not owe her this money. That's what your defense is.
Something to that effect.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Well, why don't you tell me what I got wrong?
Well,
Why don't you?
not that I don't necessarily owe, but the fact that she breached our contract with reference to me keeping the payments paid that I shouldn't have to pay, because she cut it off basically out of spite because I wouldn't have sex with her.
Mm-hmm. That's not true, of course.
She
Yeah.
begged me for sex, Your Honor.